Hello, I'm Jane, and I'm in the studio today, and I shared a Facebook Live earlier this morning. I tend to do a Facebook Live on the old art room for Art Studio Daily about what I'm sort of creating, and also those that are sharing and being live on the group in the morning, what they're doing too. And today, because of one of the projects that I'm doing has got an item in the middle that is a seed, I thought it was very poignant as well, because I was in the garden to actually, we're doing lots of seeds ready for the autumn and the next sowing. So I've already put some things in that need a bit more growing time, and I found another one of the seed boxes in Stuart's studio when we were clearing his studio out, ready to do the transition of the studios into one. So I'm going to tidy up these. I've got this lovely box with all different compartments in it, and I'm actually going to just pick out seeds and put them in as flowers and things like that, because I need to organise what's going on. So we've got some lettuces, some rocket, and what I'm going to do is literally put some cress. I'm just going to put them out first of all and just see what we've actually got. We've got some chard, nasturtiums, carrots, definitely need carrots, some herbs, and these are all from all different, some more lettuce, lots of herbs of different types. I tend to, I'm a bit of a seed person. Yellow courgettes, I've got some yellow courgettes for mum tomorrow, and flowers. I'm going to put the nasturtiums actually in with the herbs, leeks, Brussels sprouts. I think I'm going to put all the winter ones together. Okay, now tomatoes. I know I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes. Oh, Chinese lanterns. I want to plant some of those. I'll put them in the flowers at the moment, but you know, I know that I'm going to go through. I've also got seeds that people have given me, and I'm not quite sure what they are, so I'm going to have to do those. Those are all those. That's a cottage garden mix. So mixed seeds and lettuce. Some are actually already open. You can see these are already open. So I'm going to put all those together. Gosh, there's a lot of lettuce seeds that are open. Carrots, there's some carrots open too, so I'm going to have to start using up those ones. Gosh, there's a lot of ones that are open. I hadn't realised when I'd gone through what there was. Some broccoli, we've put those in with the winter ones. Radish, some spring onions. I definitely need to do some more of those. I'll put those in with salad stuff. Now these are from Marshlands, and these are little trial ones, so these are tomatoes. Some more, I'm going to put those, they're a different colour of nasturtiums, radish. Where did we put the radishes? The radishes are in there, and I'll put beetroot in there as well. I don't know how you organise your seeds, but there's a lot of, I'm going to have to look and see if these seed packets have actually got their beans. I think they're going to have to go that way. Right, chard, we'll put those in there. So now these, they sound very, they're carrots. Okay, they're carrots. Now these ones, let's have a look. Tomatoes. These are peas. Peas and beans. I think I'll put peas and beans together. Not sure what those are. They look very interesting. They must be a flower of some sort. I'm going to put those in there. Okay, yellow courgettes. And you can put squashes and courgettes in at the moment if you get them in, because I think these ones, yeah, these ones literally sowing time 6 weeks. So you know you've got 6 weeks. Peas, and there are lots of seeds at the bottom. Now I think most of those are radishes, so I'm going to leave those in there, as well as my pen that I actually write on labels, and there is a label there ready. So I'm going to put that in there too. So that box has got lots of seeds in. I will probably chuck that in the ground, and hilariously you then see what comes up. Alright, and I tend to put that in a tray, and I put assortment on there because I don't actually know what's on there. Alright, so we've actually sorted out. Now I definitely know I want to put some more beetroot in, and some spring onions. and some carrots. So I'm going to leave that one there, and I'm just going to go and get the other box. I'll let you look around while I find the other box. Here we go. Here it is here. Now this box, this is where it's going to look like I've got an awful lot of seeds, because a couple of years ago I obviously put this in Stuart's shed and then couldn't find it again. You know, as you do, you put it in a place and then you can't find it, and then you start to go, I wonder where that was. I know I had some of those seeds somewhere. Oh, verbena, yeah, definitely got to grow some of those. Now this packet is beans. Now I think by the look at them, they're obviously homegrown. So sometimes they will germinate and other times you won't. So it's one of those ones that I will sprinkle. There's lots of little bags here. They're runner beans. They are lovely. One of the Polestar beans, which is really lovely. Because if you think you've got pole beans and you've got short beans, the dwarf beans, and I like both. Watercress and rocket. You know, oh, a list. That was a list. Monster. Ooh, I've got an awful lot of peas. Going to be doing a lot with peas. Balms and herbs. Yeah. What have we got here? Sunflowers. Oh, you can put sunflowers in at the moment if you wanted to. Basil is another one that you can do all year round. Rocket. Is that one rocket? No, that's cress. Watercress and rocket. Okay. Oh, look at that. It says here, grow your own still life. Now that was from the National Gallery. Now that was definitely 2 years ago. And it's got hollyhocks, poppies, carnations and delphiniums. They're definitely going to have to go in. Some will need to go in. I think it says no. Yeah, you can grow them in the autumn and then they will overwinter. Parsnips. Now parsnips, when do they want to put in? It says February to May, so I'll probably do that, you know, next year. Spinach, I love spinach. I'm going to put that with the chard because you know, it's one of those. Now pumpkins and squashes I will put in with the courgettes. Don't need any more. That's broad beans. I definitely don't need any more beans or peas this year. Now I think they are poppy seeds. And they're in a bag called Bright Round Wire Nails. So, okay, so they are poppy seeds. I know they are because of it's in a red label. I normally did it quite, you know, funny. Some more herbs, broccoli, flowers, lots of some cornflowers. No, I think cornflowers can go in now. Yeah, cornflowers can go in now. Numerous flowers or strong bushy plants in wide colour range, useful for bedding pots and tubs, as well as being ideal for flowering subjects. Sow and grow. Right, here we go. It says 10 to 14 days from germination. Choose a sunny position. Yeah, okay. So we can put some of those in actually and get cornflowers for the year. Wallflowers, yeah, wallflowers you tend to have to grow in the spring so that they're ready for, because they take actually quite a while to actually get going. Poppies, there's quite a few poppies. Antirrhinums, oh, little pansies, those are sweet williams. I think a lot of these are flowers. This was the flower pot where I used to put the flowers in. Yeah. Lots of sunflowers, you know, that one, right, okay, yeah, annual flowers and hardy annuals. Yeah, so we need to really, I have to really look into those ones. Lobelia, yeah, that's a summer one, definitely. Coriander, that's a herb. Psyllium. Now, these are marigolds. Now, I don't know if there's any left, because I'm going to go through and have a look. They're the ones that I definitely want. So, they're in, oh yeah, they're still in there. Because they come in little packets, if you think, you know, so I've put those in. You can see there was quite a lot, even though it was only a small box, there was quite a lot in here. Purple pot top verbena. Do you know what? Verbena. I knew I had a packet of these, and could I find them? And of course it was because it was in here. You know, there's more poppies, daisies. I do love my dog daisies. Okay, and that one's one from a magazine. I do like the primroses mixed. Ooh, when do we put those in? So spring to midsummer to for autumn. Oh, you can, again, those ones you can put in. So I'll probably are they an outside one? Primroses, they'll be for spring. Have a look. Overwinter. Yeah, you got our overwinter in a cold frame. So I think I'd probably start those off in January so I get them later. More green cauliflower, tomatoes, parsley. Do you like me parsley? Oh, those are one of those envelopes. Now by the look at it, they look like a type of squash. Lynn's orange pumpkin. Now I think a lot of Lynn's orange pumpkin has obviously fallen into the bottom of this one. So radish, lots of radishes, lots of flowers, dahlias, love dahlias. Yeah, Lynn's orange ones, asters. What have we got here? Bits of paper, it says seeds. Oh, basil. Basil, there's a label. Nasturtiums, poppies, nasturtiums. A lot of these I will carry on until next year and just do potluck. It will literally be potluck. Now what's this on this one? Acamilla mollis. The acamilla mollis that I grew from here are actually outside the studio door, and they're beautiful. Polyanthus, double daisies. Double daisies. Now those labels I will take down to the polytunnel. I do have some lollipop sticks here as well that I've got in here. Now luckily enough, in the bottom here, I know I can see by the way it's looking. Have to be careful of these little tiny things because they're obviously, because they've been wrapped in a little piece of kitchen paper, they are obviously a different type of pumpkin, and I've saved them, and you know they will grow a different one. Okay. Oh, everlasting sweet pea. Now those are lovely because those are from a lady called Pam, who sadly is no longer with us, and so it is lovely that I've got some of her everlasting sweet peas, and they have grown in the corner of our garden for the last 26 years. We sprinkled them the first year we were here, and they've continued to grow all that time. Year after year they have grown, so they are definitely everlasting. And they always remind me of Pam. Now in the bottom here are definitely, there is a very large selection of Lynn's orange pumpkins. So I'm going to tip those because I know they've come out of there and there's no other seeds, so I'm going to tip those in there so that this box is then emptied. Okay. Okay, but I am also going to put those inside here because I know there's some in there, and it keep that one closed. Okay, so I'm going to put those in with the pumpkins and the squashes. So I've got quite a variety here. I've got lettuce, I've got rockets and cress and things like that, and come again, the quick one. Only one thing of parsnips, a few things of broccoli, some carrots, some onions. They need to be next year. Lots of herbs, nasturtiums, plenty of beans and peas. Yellow, a lot of yellow courgettes. I wonder if they're actually, yeah, no, they're okay. So, and if you think you only need to grow, I tend to put 4 seeds in, and then in each pot, and then transplant them on. Yeah, there's about 4 left in there. I tended to do them so they last a long time. Or you can share them. If you share them with others, either the plants, because you can grow the seeds on, or you can actually do it so that you're doing the, you know, you're sharing the seeds so they want to do it. But some of our friends especially expressed this morning that they haven't got patience for seeds and they'd prefer the plants. So I understand that. I like both. I must admit I do both. I thought I had more tomatoes than what I had, I must admit. So there is a few here, but not as many as I thought there was. So there is quite enough for me to get on with over the next week or so. So I'm definitely going to need some carrots, and I'm definitely need a spring onion. So I'm going to put those in there. Some radish. These are, it says here, from sowing to eating in 6 weeks. Now I know some of these are even quicker. The French breakfasts are normally they're quicker. They grow, yeah, they're within a month. So I think, you know, it's always the earlier varieties. Beetroot, let's have a look and see. Sowing and growing, 12 weeks. Yeah, we've just got enough time on that one. That one, they're normally about 12 weeks for those. I sow these, I've got some in the garden at the moment, and I have got some beetroot in the polytunnel. So the ones in the garden are nearly ready, okay, because they were grown for seed and then I transplant them out. And then the ones in the polytunnel, they were from the seeds. They were like a month later and they're in there. I tend to do them about every month, so I'm going to put some more of those in, definitely. I've got some carrots. No, definitely need some carrots. Now I've got to have a look because that one's definitely May. Because if you look, it actually tells you on the front March to May, and then you can do October to March, so you can harvest. So I know that I can grow those in the polytunnel and they're going to be okay with the harsh winter. Okay, some of them they don't like it. Okay. This one's from July, so I know again, and they're the similar type of variety. Now you might say, what is the point of growing carrots when you can get them from the shop? I always find homegrown carrots, especially when you get them nice and small, so much nicer and so much sweeter, along with all of these things, are so much sweeter. I'm also going to put in some mixed salad leaves. Ooh, got a bit of a tickly throat. It's probably all that dust from the seed packets. Yeah. And I think I'm going to grow some more beans, so that I've got some more beans. And these were all near enough. I'll start them off in the polytunnel and then they will go into there. Now I've got enough peas at the moment. I might do a couple. Hello again. I'm in the studio and I've got this box of garden stuff. It's all things to do with journals and paper craft and all the things that I've, over the transition of moving studios into one, I've put all of it together in a box, and I've taken it out of the unit over here, and each of the sort of squares has got an inspiration month in it, or a theme, and there's 2 of the units squares have been made over to the garden, because obviously the garden is quite a big thing here at Coulter's Cottage. And it's also important to Art Studio Daily, because what happens outside and what happens inside the studio are sort of integral. They're all part of the life of myself being an artist, and being, you know, doing what I'm doing, and also what I share, just making sure there's nothing over there, so that when I push it that way, you know, I know what's there. So it's all about the garden. And look at these beautiful pictures. These, I mean, I've literally saved these from all sorts of there's cards and little images. That's of someone sewing in her garden. So that I'm actually going to be putting in the sewing section. These have been cards that I've put aside. I'm going to put sort of flower gardens, and you'll see I'm going to stretch it across the table. These are all about hellebores, so I'll put those there. The urban garden, so I've got lots out of magazines. Some it's purely the colour, you can see that beautiful green colour. Other things are from magazines, so I'm going to put there. I've got paper packs that are full of lovely vibrant papers, so they're going there. I've got stamps and boxes of paper flowers that I've made, and you know, paper flowers that I've bought. They're in this box already, so I'm going to put those there. I've also got beads that look like runner beans, so they're in here too, and I know that I want to put these, because they do look like runner beans, I want to actually put them so that they're hanging off the journal, especially on the veg one. Now what I'm talking about sort of journal wise, I think I've got one in here, and I did do a flip through of this journal a while back. I'll have a look and see if there's a link, and I'll put that on, and I'll see whether, you know, there's the flip through that you can see, and there's lots of different sections of this that I've actually put pieces on, all about the garden, and there's layers, and it's made from a paper bag, and it's all, you know, there's notebooks and all sorts in here, so, and there's catalogues, there's seed catalogues, cards, and all keepsakes from the garden that people have sent me, and also I've collected because they've come into the studio in various shapes and forms, and then I've actually put them so that they're all together as a keepsake. So I'll show you the flip through of that too. Okay, so what have we got here? Oh, that's one of Brenda's illustrations of how to do the embroidery of a flower when we've done a session, so that's going to be kept too. There, look, you see, there's the daisy. Yeah, love daisies. Actually, I also did one of these when we did an art class of how to do them. Lots of lovely wallpaper and fabric sample sheets that are plastic covered. You know, they've actually got a covering on them. I don't know whether this table is going to be big enough actually when we get through to it. Nice homemade papers, and these have got grasses and things in. That's more Christmassy, so I will probably put that in another area, which I'll put that down on this area here. Okay, now there's lots of plums and peach coloured fabrics and papers in this one, so I'm going to pop that down there. These are papers again, I'm going to put to one side. This journal is actually all to do with Kew Gardens. I did a visit as an artist to Kew Gardens, so this book is all to do with Kew Gardens, the whole thing through. And I'm near enough, you know, ready to do a show and tell of that one too, but I'm still sticking and gluing, and I know I've actually set aside other parts for Kew Gardens, so we will see. Yeah, you see, look, these are definitely Wild Acre. These were actually part of a display, and they're on here, so they're bits. Yeah, that's another motif. It's got a butterfly on it. That's obviously a little section. The vegetable patch, that's lovely. These are all floral pieces to make paper chains. You know, I don't think this table is going to be big enough for this. I really thought I might be able to do it, but I don't know. This is a bag, and of course I think I've done this so that I can actually, this was one of the Jules bags. I was going to sew down and actually make this another keepsake, and there's bits of embroidery you can see here, little tiny birds. Alright, so I'm literally here seeing whether I can actually condense this down into a box so that we can I can at least see the wood for the trees. There's lots of fabrics that you can see would definitely make a herbaceous border. So at this point in time, because I'm not actually doing sticking and gluing, I think what I'm going to do, because I want to put this on the shelf so that we can see it nice and tidy, I think at this point in time I'm just going to sit them so that they are in here and I can get to them at another time when I've got the big table in the main studio area here to lay them all out with you. So we will put them that way and I can see whether I can get them all in. Now I'm going to put what I've sort of got out so far, and if as I find things that are interesting, see that's definitely a rabbit. That should be in the Easter project for the Easter ones. That's a lizard. Don't know whether we'd find one of those in the garden. I suppose we would. We've got little tiny ones in. There's lots of wrapping paper. Lots of floral. That's beautiful. Lots of different ones here going in. Oh, fuchsias. Done on a nice parchment paper. Yeah, so that's a printout from a computer. Yeah, that's a part of a floral display on there. A Monet brochure from the National Gallery. Yeah, Royal Academy of Arts. That's probably been when I've been on a visit. Lots of different stickets. A gardening book. Gardening throughout the year. I love those type of things because then I can actually cut them up and stick them in. Okay, so let's just keep putting these in, and I'm putting them so that I can sort them out at another time, but so that I can get them in and they're not jumbled and all over the place. Now this one, what's this file got in? Lots of florals in here. And also oh, that's ideal because it's a green sketchbook journal holder, which is good. So that's in here. We've put that one in. Ooh, will that fit that way? No, so that's going to have to go outside the area along with that one. So, yeah, this one's got garden written actually on it physically, and in here, yeah, again there's one from, which ones? This is Country Living. So there's lots of different things in there. So that'll go with that one. Let's pop those in. Yeah, we're slowly, it's definitely condensing it down. Garden of Eden. This has got lots of colouring pages in that I use in the books. Those need to come down here because they're squares. And I don't think they will actually fit in. They might, but I'm not sure. Ooh, no. No. So if I leave those ones out. Okay, I know those will. But we'll leave all the papers that I've actually put aside for those and put those in there like that. Move those up a bit. There's another garden file. You can see I've collected an awful lot of information ready to do the next scrapbooking journal. So I'm just literally putting here's gardening books. Oh, the actual book from Kew. You know, this is, oh, it's a beautiful book. So I'll pop that at that end so I know that it's there. Country Diary. It's gone in there, and then all these little pieces will all go in. There's lots of bits and pieces, lots of cards, all to do with flowers, daisies. Okay. Purely as well is I need the clear box to put some things that I need to use the lid and put the lid on. So I'll leave the papers until last. We'll put those that way. Let's move it up that way. There we go. Condensing it down even further so that it gets condensed down. This one's all got things to do with roses and rose fabrics and things, so I'll put those aside. These are all little flowers again, so those can go with the flower pot that's under there, and I'll pop that in. These are rosy fabrics. Some more. There we go. Those are leaves, a bag of vines. It's a nice piece of green card. And that was well worth... Ah, there's a butterfly. Now the butterfly, I actually put in the butterfly box. I think that's another rabbit. Yeah, that needs to go in the rabbit box for the Easter section. A necklace done from Jennifer, and then I'm just going to tip those in there so that I've got an empty box, and just move those along, and then I can fit the other ones in. There we go. Those can fit on the top. So I'm just going to put those in too. So we can put all of those files in. So I'm now putting all the files and things now in. These are large files that I've grouped together items, so they can all go in. That's the vegetable garden. Now I don't know if this box is going to go in, so I'm going to have to have a look and see. So that's all about Q. That's some more of those files. This is actually going to go on the front of one of my sketchbooks, so that's in there too. I think, yeah, that's all to do with flowers. So I think I'm still going to end up with just 2 squares with it in, but it's condensed it down. Yeah, that's all about Kew Gardens, that one. This one is antique things, so there's lots of antique things in there, so I'll show you that one. Lots of boxes of flowers, lots of boxes of flowers. So let's pop those there, and I think these are lots of flowers too in here. Yep. So we'll have a real sort out again shortly. So those need to go into there. These are all floral pieces. Now, this file has also got lots of images of gardening things in, so and different things. So that's got to go in here for the time being. I'm gonna have to put that one on the. Might have to put that one elsewhere. Might have to find somewhere else to pop that one. These are all fabrics. Have I condensed down a little bit? I hope so. Those I think to put with the fabrics. So all these little boxes contain, now this one is actually lovely because it's got dried flowers in, and I'll show you some of those. A little bit of swapping around. Trying to condense things down so that they don't take up so much space. There we go. So there, I'm now down to at least one box, and I've actually now sorted it into where there is actually area. I'm going to actually put the runner beans at the back, so that, and then and I'll probably put some of the other things that I find that's anything to do with the garden now. I know that I can put in those two sections. So I'm literally going to, because I need that tub for some of the things that are coming from outside. I've got to figure out though where I can put the file. I might take the things out of here as they are in sections and actually put them in here so that they are together, because the file is slightly too big for this. So when I work through, I will then, I think near enough every one of these pockets is full, so I'm going to take the pockets out of here and see of how many I can actually get in that slot, because I know I can fit other pockets in here when I'm sorting other ones out, and work my way through these, because the file won't actually go in this section, so but these will. And all these are different types of flowers, sitting areas, poppies, pansies, primulas, beautiful images. Yeah. So they're now all in there. And sorted, and I don't know whether that one goes in. No, that one will go in. So that has now condensed that down to that. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you some of these things. I have got a link to this and I'll show you, but I'll just do a quick what's in here so that you can see. Alright. So I showed you the little box of pressed flowers, and this box was actually a friend of mine, and she gave them to me, and this napkin and a lot of these flowers were already in here. So you can see these are primroses and they have been pressed beautifully. I know there's that thing of, you know, oh yeah, flowers, and these are actually primula flowers and leaves, and daisies, they're primula leaves, pansies, and you can see how beautifully they were pressed. They're very old, you can tell by their sort of opaqueness, and there is a whole box full of these, and I'm actually going to be putting some of these into this book that I've made. So you can see some, I'm just going to see if you actually, if I move those top ones off there so that you can see, I'm going to be sticking some of these. I'm going to move these out of the way so that they don't get caught. There we go, and put them out of the way. But you can see if I place them in here, I would sort through and find, like that one would probably be better off in here, so that there is real flowers and pressed flowers in here. You can see how they will literally add that extra, but those would have been done between a flower press, and we've got 7 other flower presses in here. You can see there's, I'd probably put one of those yellow ones in here on that page because of the yellows and the yellows coming out. I will probably put some of those in here. So I've been adding to this, you can, there you go, look, and I've saved gaps so that we can write on them, and there's, you know, I can put notes and things. So I'll just give you a quick flick through. I'm still working on this. Every now and again I pick this up when I feel that I just want to, you know, here we go. I'll probably put, you know, you can just see adding in that touch of real pressed flowers is going to add that, just that something extra to a page, and it just makes it something very beautiful. You see these pages I've just started, and I've just started adding things to them and adding texture and tea and coffee mixes and watercolours. It's a blue page, so I'll look through, and some of these leaves are gorgeous, so I might just add a leaf, and it just adds that something extra, but also it's real. The real flora and fauna just adds that something extra to that. And you can see there is a little box full here. Look, that little daisy is very cute. That is very cute in there. Okay, so I'm going to pop those back in. Okay, so you can see those daisies have done really well, because some of the flowers, you know, they press very well because they haven't got any large centres to them, and if they have, you have to remove them before you actually press them. In the late 80s and that, I was pressing flowers and literally had a business selling lots of fresh flower pictures. There we go. There we go. So this one, all right, and I'm just going to refocus. take you right out. There we go. So this is one of those bags, and what I've done is I've stitched it down into a pocket, and there's envelopes, and these have got things in, and there's little bags of the glycine bags, and they've got tags that I've made out of cards, envelopes, 3D decoupaged. That was a birthday card, and then again there's some more tags, and it's got lovely little bits of silk. So there's the bag, and this has been stuck on with fabric and things. So inside the bag it contains a lot, considering it's actually sandwiched together quite firmly. There's an awful lot in here. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then on the back, you know, there's some fabric. There's a tag made by Jane and her little business. And then you can see lots of images have been put on there. But yeah, look, there's a British Red Cross. And that was a lovely little card from someone to say thank you. A tag. There's some of the pressed flowers, you can see. I used to make cards and things. That's those. An envelope, custom original, handle with care. Another one. Alright, you can see. There we go. Oh, these lovely pop-up garden cards. Yeah, I think this is probably one from my mum. And it works out, I think it becomes 3D. An envelope, and then inside are lots of lovelies, you know, little embroidery pieces, bookmark. One of Lottie's, the textile artist, Charlotte, it's one of her lovely notebooks, and that's a garden one. And I'd like to use that. I think I might use that later on in the year to plan next year's garden. That's based on a flower pressed, obviously, and it's been made into a card. A seed catalogue, and it's called Dr. Brown's, which is lovely. There you go, a little notepad. Oh, and look at that with the honeysuckle. Okay, so you can see that all went inside this bag. All right. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Wednesday the 22nd of July. Live in the studio. I can't tell whether it's got a bit tidier. There's been a lot put in. And obviously, good morning, Kim. Good morning, Jenny. Nice to see you. Yeah, literally in the studio, at the desk. And I just want to say good morning, Jane. Nice to see you. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who sent messages yesterday. Good morning, Ange. Nice to see you. Let's just, there we go. Nice to see you. Who sent lovely messages and things like that yesterday. Good morning, Jane. Yeah, the red bucket is empty. Oh, you spoilt it. Yes, the bucket is empty. I'll chat about that in a bit. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you so much for all the lovely messages yesterday. It was quite overwhelming because it was a very difficult day yesterday. I think you gather yesterday was our last day of taking appointments for the studio. For the actual shop, to come in and shop. The things will be available, obviously, you know, by line, and also what I share here. If you see anything, or if you see anything in the background, do say. You know, Jane, you know, where did you get that from, or how can we get those things? Because the backgrounds will change, because this table is double-ended, so I can sit that side as well. So that's good in itself. So yes, it was a very good morning, Aileen. Nice to see you. I did look at the books, and there wasn't one of those Linda Seward books there. I will have a look because I've got to sort out the bookshelf, and I know I've got some double copies of some things. So you know, I will look for you. All right, so yeah, and I've got a lot of double things of lots of things, so I will, as I go through, I will be saying, does anybody want one of these? But yeah, it was quite a traumatic day yesterday. It was different. Good morning, Francesca. Hope you're enjoying the sewing machine and the embellisher. Good. Francesca was brave enough to take on one of the studio's sewing machines that she knows, because she sat at it while she was doing her work in the studio, so she knows how those work, especially ones with the free machining. So she's been doing that. Oh, you've disappeared. Oh. Oh, good morning. We've obviously had problems with the internet this morning. I do apologise. Sometimes it goes in and out here because we are in the countryside, so I do apologise. I hope you reconnect again for me. So today, as you can see, if some of you actually... Good morning, Molly, nice to see you. I think I lost everybody else. Good morning, Jane, again. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, the internet sort of went in and out. I blame the aeroplanes. The aeroplanes have just gone over, so I reckon they block out as they go across. Yeah, so remember yesterday, well, no, it was Monday, those days again, I showed you the wrapping of the ball with all the scraps that came out. Now, to get it to this size, they must have spent an awful lot of time, because I mean, they've wrapped all the fabric ground. I've been wrapping the fabric ground from the tub. As you can see, the tub, as Jenny mentioned, the tub is now completely empty, and there we go, completely empty, just waving at you to say that you're here. There you go. And I have got a bag of scraps that will go off to the recycling fabric centre when it, when the recycling centre opens, to put in their bin. So that's mine so far, and I've found several other bags that I've got to go through, so I will just keep adding to this. So that's going to be one of those continual projects, almost like a UFO that keeps going. But remember, you don't just have to do that, because some people were like, what are you doing? This was more to go through the scraps, because I knew in these tubs were fabrics that lots of people had used, and I knew it would evoke memory. All right, because it's the textileness, it's the sharing, and it's all the things. Good morning, Francesca, again. Sorry, Frankie went off and on. Yeah, I know. It's that thing of the fabrics actually have meaning because of the quilts and things that they were used in. But remember, you don't have to use up all your scraps that way. I know Ange is a wonder at using her scraps, but this is just using scraps. If I show you, Francesca, there you go, there's the go, Frankie. Can you see? It's literally just joining strips. It doesn't matter about the rough edges, and then just machining down them. Yeah, still around. Yes, they are. Oh yes, they are. Definitely. And then I just sandwich it and stitch it all at the same time, so it's all done in one. It's like a quilt as you go. Jenny would call it a quilt as you go. And this is going to be another little purse, or keep, and you can see it's just got its bias binding. This morning I've already been out in the garden before the weather changed. It was lovely and sunny earlier, and I weeded the runner bean bed with the lettuce, added some more beans, did the peas, put some more peas in because we do like our peas, and also weeded the leeks, tied up all the pumpkins and the squashes that go over the arbours. Did some harvesting because I didn't do that on Monday or yesterday, so I did some harvesting of, otherwise you end up, good morning Kim, again, with large sort of courgettes that turn into marrows, and I'm not too keen on them like that, so I use them because I make ratatouille, and I'm going to do some of that at lunchtime. So today is all about sorting. Now I hope you watch the video, because then you'll know what is in the side, in the middle of this, Kim. Don't give it away, because I'd like people to actually watch and see what is in the centre of this. Okay, all right. It's something that I use a lot, and I will be be using them a bit later too, because I've got some work to do with some inks and things. So you'll see what's in there. But I've also brought in my box of seeds today to do, because this time of year, not only with what's going on of us trying to clear a studio, we also have the garden at this year. And this week I would normally do my what I call autumn and winter seeds and planting, and it seems very poignant. I know if you've watched the video, you'll see that seeds to me are very important, because there's that anticipation of what's going to grow from them. Okay, also it's that nurturing and sharing and looking after them to make sure that they do grow into something. So I've got these seeds in here, and I've also got my pen, because I have to do labels, otherwise I never know what's what. But yeah, it's all of a jumble, because I just stuck all these back in as I was using them, and they're a real mixed bunch. Now, talking about courgette, there was a bit of a scare, I think it was a week ago, about some of the courgettes causing tummy ache. Now, I get my seeds from somewhere like Marshall's, because they're local. They're just down the road, actually, near Ely, and you know, they do things for this area, that the seeds are actually for this area. So it is good if you actually, you know, or heirloom ones. Heirloom ones tend to be good, because they've been tried and tested, and they're true to their form, because, you know, they keep on going. That's why they're classed as heirloom. So today is a seed sorting project too for me to do, because I know I've got to put the seeds in now, ready for later on, because I want to put the seedlings in before I get a frost. And most things you can put in, anything that says early, you can put in now, because it only needs 60 days. So 60 days, if you think we're August, September, October, in October we tend to start to get the really cold weather start to come in. So I tend to have those 3 months, and then we're getting harvesting, because that's how long a lot of the seeds take. With kings, so don't know about the taste. Ah, right, okay, yeah, no, they're fine. If you've just got plants as well, they're good. No, kings is good. I just find that not everywhere. I've always found that Marshall's, I can sprinkle and I get more of the seeds available. But I'm one of those that I go anywhere. I don't know about everybody else. You go anywhere and you think, oh, I like the look of those. Now, there's 2 boxes of these. Okay, purely because I put a box like this in Stuart's studio, and when we cleared through Stuart's studio, there was a seed box in there, and I'd forgotten about that one. So I'm going to have to sort out and see, because I know some of those seeds must be 3 or 4 years old by their packets. Now, I don't have an issue with that, because I know they say some seeds are, you know, go, and they don't germinate, but there's always that one, you know, and I have an affinity with there's always that one. So, you know, too impatient for seeds. No, that's fine. On the way to Down the Market, if we go that way into Down the Market, especially if we do go to the recycling centre, there's a lovely man on the right hand side who has lovely plants, and they're already done and dusted for you to just literally put straight in the garden. And there are all sizes and levels, so you literally choose what size plants, and there's different ones. He has different ones every time we've gone. There's been different ones that he's put out. I think he supplies to nurseries and things, so, and his is already good. So I understand about, you know, having plants and just sticking the plants in. It's just as nice, and I think it's quicker, because you've not had all that you know, looking at bare soil for a while. Now, also, here we go. Because I've had to empty in the studio, I've now got another empty box. Now, over on the shelves here, you know, there we go. These shelves here. there is really too much going on in this room. So I am going to sort through some of the paperwork today for the garden. I've got a whole tub. If I slightly turn it that way, oh, you're on the hair. You're on the hair. Okay, so this top section here, this one here, is all to do with the garden, and garden journals and things like that. So I've got to put that in here. So hopefully when I look at it, we only see the front of the box, you know, like we do, you know, those lovely IKEA, because this is one of those IKEA units. So I'm going to literally try and transplant that into, did you get that? Try and transplant that into here today, because it's one of those things that I need to do, because I need the tub. I need that plastic tub because it's got a lid, because it's got to go to the studio. Can you see there's all this moving around at the moment? So I can put the things in and make sure it's got a lid, and then these are going to go on the shelf. So I'm only seeing I'm seeing a little bit more plain, because at the moment seeing all that inspiration on the shelves is actually quite overwhelming because everywhere seems to be a bit of a muddle at the moment. I am trying to get my way through, and I don't know if the rest of you, when you're moving things around, you sort of, you know, you make a mess and you think, oh, and sometimes you're able to get through it in one sort of go. Other times you know that it's going to take you quite some time, and I'm hoping that you're going to come along on that journey of sorting the different things and sharing the different things. So that you can see the creation. So this week I popped up a video on Monday. I'm going to pop up a video today, purely because Stuart's at work and I can't go anywhere because he's got the car at the moment. So I'm literally going to be sorting seeds, because I know I've got to get these out in the garden, especially carrots. I've got to get some more carrots out in the garden, and some more beans. The little beans. I'm sorting this one. I'm also trying to tackle, the trailer is still full, so I've got to undo the trailer. Okay. Jane relishes a good sort out. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jay. Jane, I don't relish sort outs. At the moment I continually feel like I'm sorting, and I think I've shared this. It's fine. But I would like to get back to some normality of, and I don't think that's going to happen for quite some time, because as I've been doing a project, I'll be sorting out what's actually there to do the project. So, you know, you can do that along with me, but also I'm going to share how to do things, how, you know, like I do in the studio, the themes of what's going on, so that you get to, you know, it's skill sharing again. I do like that skill sharing, and I hope that you will continue to share with me. All right. Now, if you want to get sort of patterns and things, and also behind the scenes information, if you go onto Patreon, all right, for the Art Studio Daily, because if you think that's what the YouTube is called, Art Studio Daily, because it is a daily thing. Are you going to pause for breath during the day? I tend to do that in the evening after I've cooked the evening meal. We tend to have a quiet time then, because both Stuart's job is very physical, and also sort of mentally challenging, especially at the moment, doing all the movements and things that's going on. So, and also that awareness, because he's doing the COVID secure for his team. So he's doing that bit. So in the evening, we tend to sort of take a breath. All right. And those that know me know that this is the way that I actually share, create. And that is also my meditation. Being able to create is the way I meditate. And also, while you get yourself into and engrossed in doing these things, yes, I might be voicing what I would normally keep quiet, which I don't know if you're interested. Oh, I've just found that. You see, look, you know, I've just found those. Those should have gone in ages ago. But I can put them in September apparently here, looking at the back of the seed packet. And I love these orange lanterns. So you can see it's going to be very varied. you can tune in at any time, and that's what I think is lovely. I go and visit lots of other YouTubers and things, and that's what I tend to do when I take a breath. In an evening, I tend to go and see what other people have been doing and creating, and that's a pleasure. And also answer lots of messages and things like that, which is nice. I don't tend to go near my phone first thing in the morning, because I like to do quiet time, and at this time of year be out in the garden, because it's so lovely. And I hope some of your tomatoes are starting to blush. Ours are in the polytunnel. I saw this morning that they're starting to blush. So you know, that's good, because I'm going to have a tomato for lunch, but it's not one of ours. So we'll soon see. I stop buying tomatoes shortly, and use the ones from the polytunnel. All right. So today, in the home studio, I'm doing. Tomorrow is Thursday. I will be with Stuart. We will be sorting stuff out in the actual Swaffham. All right. So I don't know what sort of condition we'll be in tomorrow. So I'm going to say thank you for joining us this morning. All right. I will pause for breath. Thank you. Your tomatoes haven't got any flowers. Ah, right. You need to feed them. I don't know where you've got them, Aileen, but you need to feed them. They need some feeding. They're finding it hard. That's why they're just making the plant rather than any flowers. Also, you must have some flowers and things around, so that they can be pollinated. But yeah, you need to feed them. You need to make sure your soil's fed. We've been growing tomatoes for 30 odd years plus, and even when we used to grow them in pots because we didn't have a garden, we used to have to feed them regularly. And that can be from, I mean, I like putting tea leaves on as well in between the tomato feed, and there is organic tomato feed. We've got one of the Tomatorites, which is it literally makes sure the soil is right, and you just put it in your water. It's in the greenhouse. Yeah, I don't know whether you put them straight in the soil or you've put them in a pot, but you need to feed. Even my cucumber now is getting tired, so I've actually this morning I actually put compost all the way round the root top, so that when we do water, even though I've got a bottle, I put a bottle into the soil and water into that as well as round. That way you actually feed your tomatoes. Yeah, tomatoes need feeding, and then hopefully, because it feels that it's happy, it will then start putting out buds and flowers, so that it can do you some tomatoes. All right. So I don't mind doing that if you've got things like that to do. Pots will feed. Yeah, definitely. The pots take a lot of watering. They need to be the right sort of size as well. Just check underneath, make sure they're quite large pots. People don't realise tomatoes are really hungry, and you need to make sure that you feed them well, because water is just washing out the ingredients of the compost, and if I don't know where you've got them stood, that is just washing through. So you need to make sure. I mean, I often put mine, if they're in pots, I've got some in the polytunnel that are on pots. Mine are on the gravel. I mean, I've had to put a matting underneath to try and keep some of the moisture in to the pots, but they always get more hungry than the ones that are in the soil in my polytunnel. All right. So anytime you've got any questions, or you've got things that you want to do, please say, because that's what I'm going to be doing from sort of now on. Next week's a very hectic week. Don't know how we're going to do this. I know Tuesday Stuart's at work, so it will probably be a video on Tuesday, so you can see I've got my diary going for sharing. So I'm going to say enjoy your Wednesday. Okay, thank you for joining in, and thank you for all your wonderful support. The journey's changing as the studio's changing, and I hope you'll come along for the journey, and keep sharing. All right. And also, as people see people up there, it's nice for others to know that there's other people that you know in the group. My toms have gone crazy, feeding every week. Lots of flowers and lots of baby toms. There you go, Jane. Okay, you see, feeding. Once you feed them, that's what you need. All right. See, this is sharing. This is what it's all about. Okay. So I'm going to say bye for now, and I'm going to see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay, with Stuart. Don't know what frame of mind he's going to be in, because at the moment he's a bit sad too. He is really sad. Okay, all right, but we keep, you know, he keeps reminding me that we've done an awful lot of sharing over the years, and making me smile and laugh about how people have shared. All right, so bye for now, and see you tomorrow. So there you go, just done a Facebook Live at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to put this at the end of my YouTube today. So if you want to continue to share and subscribe, or if you want to go over to Facebook, it is on the Old Art Room at the moment, Facebook, the Old Art Room. And you can see there's lots of sharing, and also lots of different topics and things go on, because there's lots of people doing lots of things, which is what we would have done in the studio. We share life, and this is what I hope to do on here, where we're actually sharing sort of life things that are going on, because it's all vital part of the studio, especially here at Quilter's Cottage. Art Studio Daily for me is literally being in a studio, being at home, being creative, and then sharing it. Okay, so if you'd like to subscribe, or push the notification, which is the bell, that way you can actually join in as soon as another video appears, and you'll know when that happens. All right, bye for now, and see you in the studio soon.